going on YouTube? So today I'm here to showcase a heavy attack 1-bar Oakensoul build for the Magicka Sorcerer, updated for the Firesong DLC patch. This build is capable of pulling over 94k on the parse dummy and a solid build for group content. Keep in mind that since we are using medium armor, we are lacking a little bit of penetration. In the initial setup, I'll be using mythics and trial gear, so this is not a super beginner friendly build, but rather more for endgame players who prefer 1-bar builds. Keep in mind that in the closing thoughts section, there will be a gear alternative section to mix and match sets you may have. Please use these builds as a baseline, as there are many viable gear sets and skills in the game to customize how you want to play. With that being said, here's the build. So starting off in the character sheet, I have 64 points in a Magicka, and I'm running the Thief Mundus. For the race, we're a high elf. High elves have probably some of the best passives for Magicka DPS. For the food, we do have a couple of different options. First is running tri-stat food, which is going to give us health, stam, and Magicka. And if you want to push for a little bit more damage, you can run bi-stat food. Artem pickled fishbowl is probably the best bet, but a way cheaper and pretty much just as good alternative would be running just bi-stat blue food, like Solitude Salmon Millet Soup. For the potions, since we are a heavy attack build, we are going to have tons of sustain, so you don't really need to use potions to recover a Magicka. But what you can do is you can run tri-stat potions as a pseudo heal, or even just to fill up your stamina. So for the CP, for the blue tree, we're going to be running Exploiter, Master at Arms, Weapons Expert, and Deadly Aim. For the red tree, just make sure you have Rejuvenation slotted, and everything else is personal preference or content specific. So for the gear, we're going to be running 5 pieces of Sergeant's Mail paired with 5 pieces Stormmaster, 1 piece Slime Crawl, and 1 piece Oakensoul. So breaking it down in the main hand, we have a precise Lightning Staff of the Sergeant with a poison damage enchant. For the head slot, we have 1 piece Light Slime Crawl and Divines with a max mag enchant. For the chest, we have 1 piece Chest of the Sergeant. This is going to be in Divines with a max mag enchant. For the rest of the body, we have 5 pieces of Stormmaster, all traded in Divines with max mag enchants. And for the jewelry, we have 2 pieces of Sergeant jewelry, both traded in Bloodthirsty with spell damage enchants. And lastly, the Oakensoul, which is also Bloodthirsty with a spell damage enchant. For the skills, we're going to be running Daedric Prey, Unstable Wall, Elemental Susceptibility, Volatile Familiar, Twilight Tormentor, and Greater Storm Atronach. So for the rotation, just keep up Daedric Prey, Unstable Wall, and Elisus as best as possible. And then when you don't have anything better to cast, you can cast your Volatile Familiar. Your Twilight Matriarch is just there for the passive damage, and drop Greater Storm Atronach whenever it's ready. Some quick tips to consider when not using Eli Susceptibility: swap your weapon enchant to shock damage. And if you need more AoE, swap Storm Atro for Destro ult. So for closing thoughts, if you need another bar slot, either Elisus or Twilight Tormentor is probably the way to go. So for gear alternatives, there are 4 other heavy attack sets you can use: Undaunted Unweaver, Undaunted Infiltrator, Infallible Mage, and Noble Duelist. So the thing about Undaunted Unweaver and Undaunted Infiltrator is they don't have the best 2 to 4 piece bonus, and the heavy attack boost that you get from meeting the requirements is only 1645, which is a little bit less than Noble Duelist and significantly less than Sergeant's Mail. So for Infallible Mage, this is a good source of Minor Slayer, although Oakensoul does provide that for us, so we don't need it. The 5 piece only adds 900 extra heavy attack damage, which is far lower than any of the other heavy attack sets. It does affect enemies with minor vulnerability, but it just doesn't add enough DPS to warrant it. So last up is Noble Duelist. If you need more penetration and you want to go like light armor on the body instead of medium with Stormmaster, you can go Noble Duelist. It has okay 2 to 4 piece bonuses, and the 5 piece bonus is actually really strong, but the drawback is you have to be in melee range, so there's that to consider. But any of these sets would work just fine. And that wraps up the build explanation section of this portion. As always, thank you for watching my video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below, or better yet, come join our Discord. Link is in the description. As a reminder, if this video helped in any way, please help the channel grow by subscribing and liking the video. I will also have a written guide in the description for those who would prefer that. And lastly, I've also started a channel membership for those who like to go the extra step to help support me so I can focus on more content creation. And as always, feel free to stick around for the attached parse. If not, have a good day and see you in the next one.